Oh my god, you guys. It has finally happened. Ruby Franke from 8 Passengers and Jody from Connections have finally been arrested. This has been such a long time coming and is all happening right now. We don't know a ton of information because everything literally just broke, but we're gonna go over what we do know so far, and it's honestly heartbreaking. As you guys know, we've been following along with 8 Passengers for quite a while now. From calling out Ruby for her extreme parenting and exploiting her children's lives online, to Ruby joining Connections, meeting Jody, and completely going off the deep end. Ruby and Jody started the Facebook advice page called Moms of Truth and the Connections YouTube channel where they would give out extremely harmful and harsh advice to desperate parents.
So it's one of the, parent groups on Facebook as well. Oh, jeez. This is why I don't see this type of thing, is I have no reason to be in an algorithm to see that type of stuff either, so I have no clue who these people are. But, yeah, this isn't going to go anywhere good if that's where it's at, you know what I mean? Just from this first 50 seconds video here, there's nowhere for this to go that's taking us up. We started at the peak, I guess. We're coming just full steam down, free fall, I guess, into madness.
Eventually, Ruby moved away from 8 Passengers and completely devoted her time to Connections, which eventually pushed her oldest daughter, Sherry, away. Sherry had gone off to university, she was living away from her mom for the first time, and she grew to realize how wrong her mom's beliefs were. Sherry distanced herself from her family, she reconnected with her aunts and uncles, who also didn't agree with Ruby's teachings, and she's become very outspoken about breaking free of her mother. Unfortunately, Ruby has 5 other kids living under her roof, and a lot of people have been worried about them. Even though it was a good thing that her kids were no longer being used as props for a family channel, somehow them being offline and no one knowing what was going on was even scarier. Well,
that doesn't bode well. The problem is when you give people the vibes like your family channel, which to an extent you can always say is being exploitative of their children or their family, and at the same time say that they're not. It all just depends on where you personally draw that line for that kind of content. So, but that's content that will always, any creator who's in that area is going to fall into that issue with somebody. So that's just something that's going to exist with it. But for the vibe of your viewer base, like the people who actually regularly watch your content with you being a family channel, to be that it is scary that you are just out in the dark, no one knows what's going on, and that's concerning them because they're worried about these kids. That's not the group of people that you expect to feel that kind of a way. You know what I mean? Like, when you think family channel, you think of something like wholesome and just uplifting and like makes you smile. Not something that makes you go, "Hey buddy, do you anything wrong? Anybody hurting? Need some water? How long's it been since you had some water?" If that's the type of shit that you're feeling toward a family channel, that's not good in any way. Jesus.
2 hours ago, Sherry, the daughter who broke free from her mother Ruby, posted a picture of cops outside of what looks to be Ruby's house with the caption, "Finally." Obviously, people were freaking out. Everyone was wondering what was going on and if the kids were okay, and eventually things started to come out. Fox News is now reporting that Ruby and Jody were both arrested for 2 counts of child abuse. The arrest report surfaced, and it reads, August 30th, 2023, Washington County Sheriff's Office. 10:05 p.m. jail bookings in the last 5 days. First, we have Ruby Franke. It says that she's currently in custody, and it's for 2 counts of aggravated child intentionally or knowingly. And the same thing goes for Jody. She's in custody, and she also has those 2 counts of aggravated child. Fox News.
So, to my understanding of just the legal jargon, and I'm no lawyer, is that when it says aggravated, it could be something like this kid is repeatedly not listened to what you're telling them to do, and your response after whatever period of time this may be, of him just refusing to listen or her refusing to listen, you smack your kid. Right? Because they've aggravated the situation, but your response was that censor word. So that's my understanding of aggravated, because it's not, it doesn't indicate that you're like using an object or something, basically, you know what I mean? And that it's not just occurring as a random show of violence. I may be wrong, but that is my understanding of it.
Has been reporting on the story, but keep in mind, this report is from very early on, and there was really no information yet.
Springville police tell Fox 13 News an incident that started in the St. George area this afternoon had them checking up on 2 children of local YouTube stars Ruby and Kevin Franke from the popular 8 Passengers YouTube channel. Now, the incident in St. George led them to try and find 2 children in the Springville area where the mother Ruby lives. They say Ruby was on her way to St. George because of a family emergency and asked a family friend to pick up 2 of her 6 children. St. George police have confirmed with Fox 13 that the Santa Clara Ivins Police Department is handling the case in southern Utah. Now, the 2 children, 2 daughters, were found unharmed at a home in American Fork. We are working to find out what happened in St. George that initially alarmed police.
Get out of here, Kay.
Your new home needs more than just paint. It needs the power of CertaPro painters. The power of
police, and if any charges have been filed, we'll continue to follow this.
They also posted an article summarizing what happened, which reads, Washington County, Utah. 8 Passengers mother Ruby Franke and founder Jody Hildebrandt of the parent counseling service Connections were arrested Wednesday night for 2 counts of aggravated child. The Washington County Sheriff's Office confirmed that they had been placed in custody for intentionally or knowingly committing aggravated child at 9:33 p.m. Earlier Wednesday, the Springville Fire Department responded to a mutual aid incident at Hildebrandt's residence in Springville at 3:44 p.m. for nearly 2 hours. It's not yet known if the incident is related to Franke and Hildebrandt's arrest 6 hours later. So from what Fox News is reporting, it sounds like the fire department was first called to Jody's house where 2 of Ruby's children were for a mutual aid incident, and then it wasn't until hours later that Ruby and Jody were finally arrested.
Well, I guess if it's connected, that would make sense because the firefighters are not capable of performing an arrest, right? That's outside of their scope of responsibility. They're not doing that. So they'd have to cooperate with the police, file their reports, start the investigation, and then take action. So I get 6 hours. I don't know if that's a time frame that makes sense, but I mean it would make sense that it would take however long it's going to take to get through all the bureaucracy of everything. And then I'm wondering what is the abuse though? Is it what I'm assuming where it's something physical? Because that's immediately what comes to mind for me personally. But especially since that's the word they're using and not neglect. You know what I mean? It's just I'm wondering if that I'm wrong in the way that they've done something isn't physical, you know. But we don't know. Hopefully we get that answer, and that's what I'm looking for here.
There's a lot of speculation going on right now surrounding what may have happened, and I'm not going to get into all of that, but I will show you guys a Reddit post that says it's been confirmed. It says, an insider who does not wish to be identified has come forward with information. We have verified that they were in fact present at the scene, but cannot provide further details in order to respect their privacy. Here is what they are comfortable sharing. Please note that some of the contents may be emotional/disturbing as and neglect is insinuated. 1. 20 plus officers responded at the scene with representatives from federal, state, and local levels. 2. Kevin and Ruby were arrested separately. Ruby has been spending much of her time at Jody's residence in a different city. 3. There are reports of child malnourishment. The 2 youngest Franke children were seen by paramedics. All of the children are now safe and getting the care that they need. So the Reddit post says it's been confirmed by someone who was at the scene. I haven't seen all those facts confirmed by any news outlet yet, so right now we don't really know much. But what we do know for sure is that something serious did happen tonight because Sherry is speaking out again. Hours after her initial post at the scene, she updated people writing, "Hi all, today has been a big day. Me and my family are so glad justice is being served. We've been trying to tell the police and CPS for years about this, and so glad they finally decided to step up. Kids are safe, but there's a long road ahead. Please keep them in your prayers and also respect their privacy." I'm just...
Ooh. Yeah, see, that oldest child that moved out? They're not happy with you one bit. No, sir. No, sir. And the people that they now refer to as their family don't get along with you. So it doesn't look good. It looks very incriminating. Very bad. It looks like it's very bad. I'm happy the kids are fine, and that's why I'm laughing, is because I like when people that behave like this get what's coming to them. Like, it makes me feel good that, you know, sometimes things work themselves out in a way that is something that is agreeable to me, and I look forward to it.
So sad for these poor kids. I mean, I'm happy the police finally stepped up and they're hopefully going to get justice.
Yeah,
and
the government sucks at everything they do.
But the fact that they were living in this situation is so sad. I think we all knew that this was a bad situation and something wasn't right, but seeing it confirmed and knowing more was going on than we could ever have guessed is so scary. If it's true that there were police that were outside from multiple different levels, then that's giving me the feeling of some type of ongoing investigation that they've known about. It's just too coincidental that Ruby decided to remove all her content recently from 8 Passengers and started to wipe her online footprint that's connected with 8 Passengers.
That's never a good sign. Also, it was on the internet. It now lives forever. You may have removed it, but there's still portions of it all over the place. And now that you removed the videos themselves, you know what you're left with? You're left with whatever people have that they've taken from that. So if this is something that they've been concerned about because of the way that your channel was ran as a family channel, which is indicative that is the way that your viewers were, is what I'm insinuating here, that they were concerned for your kids, because that's what we saw the response being early on. And now, how do you think that they have clips and portions of these videos that you've taken down? How do you think that previous video that you made, all that footage from before, how do you think any of that's actually working out now? How do you think any of that is circulating? How do you think that looks versus the way that just the video in its full context looks? Because now there's no context and it's all the worst parts. And you've removed the context because you're concerned that it'll be even more incriminating. And at least, even if that's not the case, that is exactly the way that it is perceived. and reality is perception.
Passengers and started to wipe her online footprint that's connected with 8 passengers. She was still posting on connections with Jody, but a lot of people are speculating about this being an ongoing investigation, especially if so many cops showed up. Of course, that's just speculating, and like I said, we don't know a lot right now.
Plus.
All that matters is that the kids are safe, and Ruby and Jody are currently behind bars. So far, I haven't been able to find any confirmation about whether or not the dad, Kevin Franke, was arrested, so I can't say for sure if he was or not, but there were rumors going around about Kevin no longer living with Ruby, so even if he was arrested, I don't think it would pop up on the same booking website. So far, no more information has been released. We haven't been able to see any mugshots or anything like that, but if anything else does come up, I will keep you guys updated. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about everything down below. Did you ever expect anything like this to come up?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. It was a good little T-spill video, that's for sure. Let's read some of these, though. I saw some updates online from Fox 13 in Salt Lake said, arrest was made after a child climbed out of a window of Jody's residence and ran to a neighbor's house. The child knocked on the neighbor's door asking for food and water. It was found with duct tape on her ankles and wrists. Police described severe wounds, neglect, and malnourishment. That child was taken to the hospital. Another child was found in house that was also malnourished. I'm just going to say that those two children right there are probably the two children that it said were looking at being looked at by paramedics, right? But that they're all healthy and getting the care they need, right? They're all safe and getting the care they need, which is fantastic. That's good to know. This is an actually helpful comment. I hope this makes every family channel shake in their boots. This is what exploiting your children gets you. This is what I was saying, is the family channel area of content creation is something where there are going to be people who just by default see this as exploiting your children every time. So that's not really the case. There's got to be a line somewhere, because you can just share things and not make what your children are doing something that you're trying to script them into, and you're just orchestrating situations to get what you're looking for from them. You could just be filming having good time with them, like taking them to the park and having a good time, being out on a boat with them for the first time, right? Just actual things that they normally do, and giving them life experiences, give them stories to tell forever. Things like that, and you could just be doing something simple like that that's not actually exploiting your kids. You're just sharing it, and it's not a big deal. But then there are things that are clearly exploitive. It all depends individually where you're going to draw the line, though. Like I said, some people do it just every single family channel, and that's the problem with that little niche, is that there are people who will always see children being in music or videos, be it full production or just like something small, and they will see it as being exploited regardless. So it's bad. Fast click, malnourished. Yeah, I don't know how you manage to make children malnourished. How are you not giving them food? It's a monstrous way to treat somebody. It's dehumanizing, truly, to malnourish a human. It's dehumanizing. See, somebody saying what I said about making all the videos and removing them and stuff. It doesn't matter. It's always there now. Yeah, nobody's really shocked. People are just like, yeah, finally. Happy this happened. I feel bad for the kids. I'm happy the kids are safe, but it's too bad they had to go through this. Yeah, it is what it is, but it seems as if exactly what should happen is where they're at with that. So Toodaloo, biatches. You got it coming. Got it coming.